Hi, this video is going to be over the chapter on prepositions. And as we talked about in earlier chapters, prepositions are connecting words and they show a relationship of nouns and pronouns with other words in the sentence. So we're going to talk about some of the problem prepositions that you might encounter as you are studying. Okay, in this first part, we're going to talk about the objective case pronouns used as objects of prepositions. Remember, subjective case pronouns cannot be in prepositional phrases. They are used as subjects. So you can't use a subjective case pronoun as an object of a preposition. We also are going to talk about avoid using prepositions in place of verbs or adverbs. Okay, and here's a list of some commonly used prepositions. You have a list in your chapter that's a lot more extensive than this one. So you might want to get familiar with the list. Okay, using objective case pronouns as objects of prepositions. Notice in this sentence that our subject is everyone. Here's our preposition except. And what follows is that this is a prepositional phrase. Leslie and her. So notice that we don't say Leslie and she, we say Leslie and her, because her is an objective case pronoun. And it has to be used in a prepositional phrase. Here's our verb, arrived, and then this is an adverb telling how we arrived. Okay, just between you and me. Okay, between is our preposition. So we have to use the objective case pronoun me, and here not I, not the subjective case pronoun I, because this is a prepositional phrase. Sells is our subject, because it's what's doing the action. This declining, R is our verb, and then declining, telling what it's doing. Okay, some problems we have with prepositions. We don't want to substitute the preposition of for the verb have. So we don't say they should have walked to the restaurant, we say they should have, because have is a verb. Whoops. Well, I goofed that one up. Okay, have is our verb. Of is a preposition. So your preposition is not showing any action. They should have walked. Have walked is our verb. We don't say we could have received, we could have received. Have is part of the verb here, have received. So we don't want to use a preposition here because this is a verb. We don't want to replace the preposition from with the words off or off of. Okay, Christine borrowed the pen off of Brandon? No, she borrowed it from him. So she borrowed, here's our verb. And she borrowed it from Brandon. And then we also want to watch using the word to, to, in place of the adverb too. And too means additionally or excessively. Okay, so we give cash receipts to the courier because we're giving it in a direction to something, which was what to means. The too means also or excessively. So sales reps received laptops and cell phones too, or also or additionally. So we want to watch these words here. Okay, the car was too small or excessively small to carry the equipment. So we just want to watch these and make sure that that we're using them in the right context. Okay, we're going to talk about challenging prepositions and how to use them correctly, and then we're going to retain necessary prepositions and omit unnecessary ones, and construct formal sentences that avoid terminal prepositions. Sounds like a lot, but it's not. Okay, so here's some of the categories of, or the challenging prepositions that we're going to talk about. Among and between. We want to make sure we use these correctly. Among is when we speak of 3 or more persons, and between is used between 2. Just between you and me, or she is among a group of people. Okay, so profits will be divided among the 9 partners. Well, we have 9 people here that's getting divided, so we have to use among. We don't use between. We don't say profits will be divided between the 9 partners. Responsibility will be divided between the vice president and the general manager. We have 2 people we're going to divide this, so we use the word between. Okay, beside and besides. Beside means next to, you're standing beside me. Besides means in addition to. The carpool parking lot is beside the office. Means it's next to the office. You have another option besides this one, or in addition to this one. So we want to watch our usage of these 2 words. Except. We use the preposition except to mean but or excluding, and the verb accept means to receive. So we want to watch these 2 here. All pages except or but or excluding 3 must be copied. We will now accept, which is a verb. We're taking something or receiving something. We accept it for the position. Accept these applications. Okay, we have these in, into, in, to. Knowing when to use these are important. In is a location or a position. Into, as one word, means 3 things. Okay, so entering into something is one of the meanings. She plans to go into accounting or move into the new facilities. It also can mean changing the form of something. The caterpillar changed into a butterfly, so it changed form. Or it could mean unable or making contact. Unable to stop, he ran into the back of the car in front of him, or he made contact with it. Nice way of saying it. But please turn the report in to your boss on time. So we have to watch how this word is being used, and in certain cases we may have to put it into the 2 words here. He returned it in, so he gave it to the boss on time. So it doesn't fit any of these other 3 meanings. Okay, then the preposition like, we use it to introduce nouns or pronouns, but not to introduce clauses. For instance, don't you think Rachel looks like her? Okay, so right here we're using like to introduce the pronoun her. But we wouldn't say they look like they could be sisters. This is a clause here. They could be sisters. It's actually an independent clause. So we do not use the word like to introduce an independent clause. We'll use as if. Okay, sometimes there's prepositions that are necessary and some that are not necessary. We'll want to include prepositions that clarify things. We want to be careful when two prepositions modify a single object also. For example, our appreciation for and interest in the project remain great. All right, our appreciation is our subject. Okay, here's our prep phrase. So we have our appreciation for, and we have interest in. So we don't want to leave off the preposition for in this instance because it clarifies the sentence a little bit better. Okay, what style of printing do you prefer? We don't want to leave off the word of because it is clarifying the sentence. It makes more sense than saying what style printing do you prefer. We want to say of in here. She graduated from high school last year. We want to make sure we put that from in there. It wouldn't be as clear if we said it, she graduated high school last year. So sometimes these prepositions are in just for clarity of a sentence or make it make more sense. Okay, there's also instances where prepositions are not necessary. For example, I'm not sure when the meeting is scheduled. We don't need to add for at the end because it's not needed for clarity. We don't need to add anything to this sentence because it makes sense the way it is. Bosses were left outside, not outside of. They were just left outside the door. Okay, and then terminal prepositions. You want to be careful using terminal prepositions. For instance, when you're writing more formal or business type, you would want to say, what topic did he lecture on? I'm sorry, this is the less formal. More formal, we would say, on what topic did he lecture? So here's our terminal preposition. And so what they're saying is be careful using this form because it's more casual. Whom do you wish to speak to? So here's our terminal preposition in our less formal version. And then here's our preposition at the beginning. To whom do you wish to speak? I know that sounds funny, but this is a more formal way of saying something. Okay, let's look at putting the right words in these sentences. You should have or should have applied for the position. Well, remember, this is a verb, have applied. So we would use have. The dividends will be divided between or among all stockholders. Well, I'm assuming that there's more than 2 stockholders, so we're going to divide them among all the stockholders. The break room is located beside or besides the copy room. Well, it's next to, so it's going to be beside. Or beside your resume, you must send a list of references. Well, we're going to use in addition to, besides. In addition to your resume, you must send a list of references. Everyone except him was given a raise. Okay, so we're going to use except because this means to take something or receive something. But this here, what we're saying is except him or excluding him was given a raise. Okay, you should go into see your boss tomorrow. What are we going to use? We're going to go into something. So we're going to go in to the room to your boss. I guess that's the easy way to see it. Okay, and then he made quite an impression when he walked into the room. He walked into or went into a place. Okay, this is the end of part 1, so we'll do part 2 next.